Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Venture Forum podcast. I am your host, Kyle Golding. I'm joined today by Danielle Melton from MOTHERboard. She is one of our 5 pitch presenters for April 10th in Oklahoma City. We did a pitch day in Tulsa last month, and now we're doing April in Oklahoma City. So we'll have 5 pitch presentations, including MOTHERboard. So we're going to get into a deeper conversation with Danielle today about what MOTHERboard is, how she came about this idea, and how she's going to move it forward in the future. So hello, Danielle, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm super excited to be here.
So let us know what MOTHERboard is. I looked at your website. It looks very interesting. I can't wait to hear what it is you're doing and how you came about this.
Yes. So MOTHERboard is literally, I say it's a working mom empire. So we basically are supporting mothers through burnout, through, all the things, the work-life balance, a lot of issues that are around, being a working mom, and helping support the companies in which they work for. So we help both entities so that they can both, have a thriving relationship together, and moms can thrive instead of survive as working moms, and employers can have great employees and not have that revolving door when people are leaving. So
obviously, anyone can understand that mothers are juggling a lot of responsibilities at all times, working professionally, kids, the family, the household, all of those good things. So let me know how this idea originally came to you. What was the spark for it? And then how did you take that original basic idea and begin to work towards where you are today?
Yeah, great question. So I literally started MOTHERboard due to my own personal journey with burnout and mommy guilt and things like that. So a few years ago, I was an executive leader. So my background is in executive leadership and education. So I've held positions like school leader, director of operations of a school district, and also teaching at the university level. And while I am really big on going for your goals and trying to break that glass ceiling, I also entered into parenthood in a non-traditional way, which is through foster and adoption. So you could only imagine being kind of thrown into motherhood in comparison to slowly, developing from a baby to, all the things like that. So it's so interesting because my background, and I taught on the university level when it came to early childhood. So I felt that I was super prepared, and everyone was trying to tell me that, oh, when you have your own, it's going to be different. And of course, I'm like, no, studies show, and trying to use the science behind it. But they were very, very right. And with that being said, when I became a mom to our first set of foster kiddos, I had a hard time trying to figure out the balance between giving my all to work, giving my all to home, giving my all to my husband and to myself. And I found myself super overwhelmed with all the responsibilities and was like, how the heck are moms doing this? And this whole issue actually led me, to being super burned out to the point where I had to go to urgent care to get a doctor's note so I can take time off so that I can get my mind where it needs to be, because I felt like I was going to have a mental breakdown. So during my 3 days of, off with my doctor's note, I had to do a little research. I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Is this normal? What is up with all this? And then come to find out that out of the 73% of moms in the workplace who are, have children under, 18 and under, 68% of them are experiencing burnout. And those are the ones who have stated that they're experiencing it. And then, I was like, okay, that is huge. So this is what I'm feeling is burnout. So let me find a solution. Let me see, is there a group? Is there training? What are we doing around that? And unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything that supported working mothers. Granting you, I did find things that were groups for networking or business owners or kind of supporting the child, how to, add broccoli to brownies and things like that, which was great, but that is not what I needed. The mother needed to be mothered. And because I wasn't able to find that solution, I said, you know what, let me create that solution. And that's how we got things started.
A true entrepreneurial story, right? That you identified a problem, you didn't find a solution, and realized you could create that solution, thus creating a business opportunity for you.
Exactly. And again, I needed it. So I was doing it out of me being selfish, then find out that so many other women and moms were needing this space as well. So it was just really interesting and one of the things I like to say is moms are the forgotten species. especially working moms, we are expected to work as if we don't have children, and then have children and raise them as if we don't work, which are super unrealistic expectations. So that's literally why I'm here, to help diminish those mindsets and help support, the mothers. So.
Now, you mentioned you had a background in education, and that educational focus was early childhood development. Yep. What point did you realize that maybe you needed to understand technology and communication and business in order to take this idea and create something with it that other mothers could benefit from?
Yeah, great question. So again, it started off, we literally started off as an Instagram page back in 2020, and we didn't really become a business until about 2 years ago. And so with a lot of research and with a lot of hearing feedback from the moms within our groups is kind of how we evolved. So for instance, we were starting with networking events, and then we're getting feedback, hey, can we do things where we can keep the same women around so we can build upon each other? So that's where the chapters came. So we started chapters in different cities, and then feedback of, I'm not able to come to these things because I'm super busy. So, okay. So again, with the feedback, it's how can we help still support the moms in a way that they can feel that they can still be there, even though they may not be able to be there in person. So that's where our fully virtual platform came from. So just kind of listening to the community and evolving alongside them is basically what happened with that. So, of course, great organizations such as I2E and Build in Tulsa were great pieces that were added to help me envision and take things to where it is today. So, so all that to say, the technology piece came from the evolution of where we started to where we needed to be to help support moms, not only in Oklahoma, but nationwide.
So you really built a community before you built a business.
Yes. And then we moved the community piece to our nonprofit. So now MOTHERboard Foundation is the nonprofit that still does the in-person community pieces along with the research. And then MOTHERboard is our SaaS app supporting the moms, in their workplaces. So it's just kind of changing what it means, in the workplace to be more nurturing and inclusive and thinking about the moms.
So let's talk about the SaaS as the economic generator here. What's your business model, and how is it that you make money, and what do you offer in exchange of that's a value for working mothers?
Yes. So our SaaS platform, we support the moms, and basically what it is it's user based. So we started off, we still have our users for just individual members. So, we get paid per user. They pay yearly or quarterly or monthly. They have those options. And then with us adding the corporate, entity, it's the same kind of concept, but they'll pay for spots for their users. So, say this organization wants to have, 30 spots for the moms in the workplace. So they'll pay for 30 spots, and whether or not, all the spots will be filled, or they just, want to have it so that when people come on, they'll have those 30 spots, for the program.
And how would you describe your progress so far? So is this out in the world and people are using it? Is it still an MVP and a work in progress? Where are you in that evolution?
Great question. So as I was mentioning, our individual users is going. And as we're evolving to having it to be the corporate solutions, we've done a couple of research and had conversations with people, but we are still building a little bit of the infrastructure in the background with the goal of hitting the ground running in May to add on 5 to 10 companies to join our pilot, with the goal of next year hitting 100 different companies. And again, we are at it as a benefit package. So again, we're training the mothers and supporting them, and we're also doing with the employers. So they're getting feedback on what the mothers are saying, they're not, and then help train them to see it that way, and then create these different ways that they can support them. And it's really interesting because I have a background in HR as well. So being able to have both of those pieces of being the mom who has been burned out and being the HR person who's seen the revolving door of the mothers and trying to figure out, how do I fix this because it's bigger than me? I knew this is the creme de la creme of what we need to do to help with the revolving door of the burnout mother and the employers trying to figure out like, what do I need to do? I thought we were supportive. Thinking and doing are two different things. And a lot of times you don't know until you know. So even though a lot of places are thinking and feeling that they're being very, nurturing and inclusive, a lot of times they're missing the mark in a big way. So we're helping them see that and then create that environment that's nurturing for the moms.
So you are B2C, because you're going directly to consumers, to the mothers. You're B2B because you're working corporate. You have a nonprofit entity as well. You are a working mom. You actually made a lot more work for yourself in order to help you with burnout. like a true entrepreneur, you created more work for yourself, but to solve that problem that you identified. And so now, April 10th, you're one of our pitch presenters. So tell us, on that day when you make that pitch, what are you looking for from OVF members? Are you looking for investment partners, corporate relationships, etc.? Let the listeners know what it is, how they can engage with MOTHERboard.
Yeah. Yes. So I say all of the above. Our biggest thing right now, we are fundraising $250,000, to help support our pilot so that we can have everything in place to welcome the 100 companies who are committed to, nurturing an inclusive environment for the mothers, as well as we are looking for different corporate partners who may be interested in joining our pilot program at a significantly lower price as we, are evolving and, getting things together. Of course, you will be seen and known as our veteran companies to join us and be part of that. And then we also just want to help get the word out there. We want to let people know what we're doing, the issues in place when it comes to working moms, and just continue to elevate our voice. As I'm continuing to do that on stages and panels and podcasts as I'm doing here. And I'm also a Forbes council member. So I write for Forbes and speak on things, of course, as a subject matter expert for the well-being of working mothers. So yeah, just all the things to support financially, support as a pilot, and help us get the word out there any way we can. If you know of any conferences I could speak at or any other, great places, or you just want to just chat and just learn more about who we are and how you can best support, I would welcome all those things for sure.
So if you're listening to Danielle speak, you can tell that this is the level of entrepreneurs that we have pitch at OVF. We're super excited to hear your pitch in the room on April 10th, along with 4 other pitch presenters: Sugar Security, FlexH, Shelter Share, and Barista Bata. So that is going to make up our 5 pitches for April 10th. So if you're hearing this before April 10th, make sure you go to ovf.org and sign up so that you can be in the room. And it's Oklahoma City at our Spring Lake, the MetroTech Spring Lake location. Like I said, we did this in Tulsa last month. We're back in Oklahoma City this month. And then next month will be the awards event. But do not miss this pitch power lunch, because Danielle is going to be pitching MOTHERboard, and the other 4 companies will be there as well. If you are an OVF member, you will have access to Danielle's contact information. So if you don't get to speak to her on April 10th, you can contact her if you're one of those people who maybe wants to participate in some way with MOTHERboard or support what Danielle is doing. Appreciate you so much being on the podcast today, talking to us about MOTHERboard, and looking forward to your pitch on April 10th.
Yes, super excited to be here, and I can't wait to meet you all. Hope to see you all in the building. Thank you so much.